Welcome back to the Real Estate Radio Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty. And you can always get a hold of Chris. You can go to his website, chrislofthus.com. Email, contact us at clgeagle.com, or you can also reach out at 350-6228, 350-6228. Our next guest comes from Pristine Pool and Spa, TJ Brown. Chris, share with us the first time you met TJ, and obviously you highly recommend him, but share with us how your relationship began.
Actually, came through real estate. You know, I called TJ. I got referred to him by a client of mine, and TJ actually came by my house. I was having some issues with my pool. We have a pool probably it's about 8-9 years old. We were having some issues with the tile and some other things that were going on with it, and that's kind of how I got hooked up with TJ. So, you know, when he came out to the house, it was before he built that incredible building out there on Eagle Road and grew so fast, but like he'll tell you, he came from down in the Phoenix area and kind of where he started from. But again, like I always go back to, our biggest thing is that I want to surround myself with quality people, quality individuals that are going to, you know, do what they say they're going to do. And that's what TJ is, and that's what Pristine Pools does.
Yeah. Well, TJ, welcome to the show. And the first question, anybody that's in your business, how come the pool business? Did you like to swim when you were little, or did you like to clean pools, or what was it that attracted you to say, this is something I'm going to build a career on?
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction, Chris. This is what blushing sounds like on the radio. That's a lot to live up to there, but I appreciate that. So how did I get in the pool business? We have a joke in the pool business that nobody's in the pool business on purpose. And I'm a little bit of an exception to that rule. But I originally started off in landscaping, and we did landscape design build projects in Phoenix. We did outdoor kitchens, and we did pool decks, and we did fireplaces and shade pavilions, and really focused on the entire backyard surrounding a pool and working with pool builders in Phoenix. And that's really how I got into the backyard business. I had an opportunity to purchase a 35-year-old pool construction company in Phoenix, and I did so with a couple of partners, and we grew that business in Phoenix to one of the top 50 builders in the U.S. It was a really exciting time, and in 2006, I sold that business in Phoenix, and we moved to Idaho.
Yeah, so you're located, and if I'm trying to remember this, I think across from Roaring Springs on Overland in that neighborhood. But anyhow, you build this new facility.
Yep, it's at Eagle and Houston, right, next to Lowe's.
So you build this magnificent facility, come over with that. And I remember driving by, I'm like, when's it going to open? When's it going to open? And then kind of got a peek in the window. Now, I kind of got a behind the scenes. I think Jeremy or somebody over there took me back into what I called the grotto area and all that stuff. So how do you have this vision? So now when you go on Eagle Road and you see Pristine and people that want to see it and look at it, how did you, or was that exactly your mind? Because usually when you look at it, you got a couple of spas stacked up in the corner and you say, hey, here's my pool. And yours is, go out and check it out if you want. I mean, swim in it if you want to check it out.
Yeah. Well, since this is a real estate show, we'll talk about the meat and potatoes of it. We had about a 5,000 square foot office space on Fairview when we opened our business here in 2007. And we had about a 10,000 square foot warehouse in Garden City. And we sort of felt like an RV dealership without a service department. There was no place for our customers to buy specialty pool supplies or anything that they needed to take care of the pool. So we opened up a small pool supply store at Eagle and Chinden. And after a year or so of operating like that, we had 3 different locations that we were leasing that there was some logistical difficulties managing employees at 3 different locations and having them all work in sync. So the real estate, as we all know, was, close to the bottom in 2009, the commercial real estate market. And so we had an opportunity to purchase the land and build the building, and it costs us less than the 3 spaces that we were leasing. So I guess I'm in the pool business now on purpose, but I'm in the retail backyard business on accident.
Yeah. What were you say reality is?
The reality of it is it costs us less money to do business in our existing facility than it did before in our nondescript leased spaces. And we have a great showroom now that we can show the additional products in a backyard.
Yeah, and it's incredible the pieces that you have. So what makes you unique to the industry besides somebody that just sells, and I know we can't call it chemicals anymore, it's treatment, is that right? Is that what we refer to?
We typically call it pool supplies.
Pool
and spa
supplies. So it's a lot more than that, and in particular, how is Pristine unique in the industry?
So I've done over 1,000 backyard projects, and what I've discovered looking back on completed successful projects is that every backyard has 5 essential elements. Those 5 elements are water, fire, food, furniture, and music. And we don't really care how much you spend. We don't really care, how it works. But if you have each of those elements, then you've got a great backyard.
Yeah.
It's a place that the kids are going to be at your house, not somewhere else.
Chris, I know there's a couple of places you've talked about that you're selling, and you said, well, Pristine put it in. And isn't that intriguing that we really don't have to say, well, the pool looks like this or the backyard's like this. It's Pristine put it in, and that's kind of the Shazam moment. Oh, well, then I know it must be beautiful.
Well, yeah, that along with, you're getting a quality product, and I kind of think that, and TJ touched on a little bit, but more what they do is, if you look at, some of his backyards and what he's done, and in general, just from the pool, just some different seating areas, but they do all the way up to pizza ovens. They have great furniture at their place. And so I guess what TJ is trying to really say is he's trying to make a really great environment where you want them, your family wants to be outside more as opposed to being inside.
Yeah, absolutely. TJ, what do you find when somebody comes into and they're thinking about a pool? Obviously, I think the climate in this part of the state is conducive to a pool. You've got a little longer season. What are a typical question when somebody says, well, I'm thinking about putting a pool in? What do you run into?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's something that we go through a big education process. And we've got 4 really talented pool designers. They come to the client's home. They want to understand the environment. They want to understand the architecture of the home. They want to make sure that the pool and the backyard all flows with the house, that it doesn't look like an afterthought. They want to know, how big are the groups that you're going to entertain? Are you a homebody and it's just you and a couple of kids, or is your son the quarterback on the football team and the whole football team's going to be there? So we go through kind of an interview process, and we create a program on what we're going to design. And then from there, we do 3D modeling of the entire backyard, the house, the proposed new backyard environment with the pool and sitting areas, and then we have the next meeting at our office. And the next meeting at our office, we're able to look at the design, and then we have a design room that in there we have different tiles and pavers and copings and all these different samples and interior finish materials. And we also have the pool park out front, so you can walk out there and see it in real life and see it in scale. And in that case, it gives the client a lot better idea of what they're getting into, what the project's going to look like, and how it'll be usable.
You can shoot TJ an email if you want. It's tj@pristinepoolandspa.com, or you can go onto their website, pristinepoolandspa.com. I know you've been keeping a good friend of mine, Kevin Plew, busy on that website, so it looks beautiful. 321-0212, 321-0212. Chris, when we come back, I want to get a little deeper into those 5 elements, and I want to make sure you've got the water, the food, the furniture, the fire, and the music. And if you don't, we're going to have TJ come over and get you straightened out. How's that sound?
Well, yeah, and a little bit more I want to discuss when we come back. We'll discuss a little bit about, the homeowner themselves, what they're getting themselves into, whether they're building a pool or whether how TJ can help them out with if there's an existing pool on the property. We have a lot of these dilapidated pools that need to be upgraded, and there's a lot of things that I feel the homeowners don't realize they can do, whether it's a new pool or whether it's taking the existing pool and all the neat things that Pristine can do with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's good stuff from TJ at Pristine Pool and Spa. More from him when we come back to the Real Estate Radio Show, featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty. As always, you can check out Chris's website. It is chrislofthus.com. Chris, C-H-R-I-S, Lofthus, Lofthus.com. And Chris, as we go to this timeout, give us your cell number because you'll actually take a couple of calls during the break here.
Sure, I love doing this, and you can reach directly out to me, and I can answer any questions you have at 514-5003. Again, it's 514-5003.